Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, to Canyon 9v9. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. 9 ANS players, 9 OSP players. Plenty of people we've seen before, plenty of people we haven't. I'm not going to go down the name. Actually, this is a perfect time to go down the names. I lied. We got Corey U, Potato Master 785, Cordy ASDF 1302, X Step 365, a bunny. Just a bunny. Admiral Nam, Captain Mediocre, Memphis, and Banana Guy on Team 1. Team 2 has Cosmic Eradicator, Comrade Silver, Mungo Parker, Captain Chaos, Internet Explorer, Crysec, Hungry Hippo, Goodman 528, and I Sawed Your Boat in Half, whose name does not fit on this screen. Pretty sure Team 2 is OSP, pretty sure Team 1 is ANS. That's the rules, that's how it be. That's what we do. I'm glad that got to be normalized after a little bit. Those first couple days of the OSP update, everybody was like, well, which team's going to be which? And a couple of us were like, well, it's just Team 2 OSP because they're the second faction. It makes sense, right? And I think red suits them better and blue suits the ANS better. Anyways. And, yeah, that's kind of become the norm. A lot of people doing that. Looks like we're dropping down. I'm just kind of yammering at this point, waiting for things to get going. We're going to be dropping down with the OSP team and a Mass Driver Bulker coming down on top of the map. Very exciting, very exciting. Might as well use the menu music for the first, like, 5 minutes of Canyon. Why not, right? Nothing really goes on here. Cosmic Eradicator bringing 2 triple Mass Drivers? No, 1 quad. No, they're both quads. And why am I... Where's the other one? It's over here. 2 quad Mass Drivers with some containers on their backside. Presumably decoys, yep. A Bloodhound. Some T-30s. And some point defense, and then an EWR? No, just another point defense ship. No EWR for these Mass Drivers. That is brave. This fool is going to be giving himself carpal tunnel, spamming around the little tiny Bloodhound beam all over the place. Now we're going to do it from the top. Captain Chaos bringing a mine team. With, what's in here? No repair teams. Well, no restorers. 1 rapid team. 2 sun drives. So these are actually going to be able to go pretty decently fast to get those mines down. Pair of Ocellos. Just fighting for 50 Ocellos. They got Sarissas, they got Defenders, they even got Floodlights. I've been seeing people using Floodlights to enhance radar SIGs, but I don't think that's that good. I'll be real. Goodman, we already went over Eradicator. Goodman bringing more 450s, also Sarissas, Bastions, and Jammers, blank Jammers. Jammers going to be very effective. Surprised he wouldn't bring Bellbirds. She can fit 2 of them on it. Ooh, Bellbirds are great. Because the problem with the Bellbirds, the uptime's got the low uptime, but it's very effective. Anyways, look at these 216 roll-offs on this one stupid little monitor. RL-18 and T-20 scouts all over the map. What the fuck? These are all over the map. This dude, good luck controlling all of that. That would drive me crazy. C60s from Doof here. Do not see those very often. The single barrel 450. It's, yeah, it's pretty uncommon. Pretty uncommon. Plenty of Bastions, C53s, which are the 250s. There isn't a double barrel 250. Got all these. Okay. Oh, this is... What is happening to you? Oh, he's burning on flank and he has no repair teams. That's what's happening. Well, those are gonna not have a fun time. So, good luck, Chief. You're gonna need it. 450 Ocello. God, how many Ocellos are on this team? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Honestly, fewer than I was expecting. So Ocellos are really good, and they seem to be in mega vogue right now. Oh, is this Internet Explorer? Yep, this is Internet Explorer with his revolver ship. I love watching this thing work. We got a tug here. Bice, Grazers, Bastions, PD tug. make up for, and honestly, I think the Tug's a great point defense platform. I've knocked on it before, but after seeing it in action time and time again, I actually think it is a pretty good point defense platform. And a little scout. VLS and a pinpoint. Kryshek. Wow. Is this guy for real? What are you doing? I mean, he's gonna... If you keep this thing in an open area, ANS is not going to be able to hit anyone with hybrids. It's only got a VLS2 for offensive options, but Jesus, look at all of these sources. I mean, honestly, that might not be a bad deal in a match like this, with there are so many people all in the field, to have a dedicated defense boat. Bellbirds, yeah, this dude has gone hard on these. ANS team getting rocketed. SP team getting kind of counter-fired by these. Reap! Ooh, but you're rocketing a sprinter, buddy. Sprinter by a player who kind of knows what he's doing. It's going to mean all that's going to miss. Yeah, Krysak, Bellbirds. Okay, Mungo Parker also has an Ocello, a 450 combat Ocello. I guess we'll switch to at least this music. It's a little more aggressive. Bastions. Bloodhounds, Bastions, VLS. EWR, Bastions, man, crazy amount of PD out of these. Which is good, but significantly less combat potential. And then Mungo Parker. Oh, these are the exact ships. These are Mungo Parker's vessel. If you can capture Gulf, that could be very useful. Fortunately, losing one ship, and these are not going to get armed before they get taken out. Ooh. I think that's... Yeah, this is going to sniff that. Oh, I see. 2 different players have gone down here. And maybe a third? Yep. With their scouts. What is going on up here? These are mines. Well, that's exciting. Oh, Bunny is bringing a battleship with just a whole bunch of stuff on it. He's got Sarissas, he got Stonewalls, he got Auroras. It's the best PD money can buy. Which is really not that big of a deal. The OSP team didn't bring much in the way of missiles. I think Hungry Hippo brought some... No. Yeah? Yeah, 216. Ooh, this shuttle able to just get away from this torpedo without it even exploding. I got that. I saw that. Admiral Nom. Alright, we can get out of here. Start going down the ships. There's that BB I think we just looked at. Yep. Axford, Defenders, Stonewalls. Pharaoh Best, Combat Axford. This is taking some damage. What are you getting shot by? Ah, mass drivers. That's what you're getting shot by. A lot of mass drivers. Getting torn to shreds by a lot of mass drivers. In fact, even on Canyon, I don't have enough time to go through all the fleets, even though I think I've been pretty fast about this overall. Missile launcher out of Banana Guy. Eep! Just a lot of hybrids. Naked Scout. Gun Voxel. Mediocre bringing a beam team. Presumably? Are these not a beam team? No, they're not. These are escort destroyers with guns on them. Mediocre is right. You are memeing, my lord. Why would you do this? Why would you do this? There's a Stonewall on the nose. This is so cruel. It's just silly. Mass driver fire coming in. These things have really started getting away, eh? Not even done browsing through all the boys. Koryu, bring in Combat Axford, well-rounded PD, Stonewalls, and Defenders. Another beam machine, or the first beam machine, I should say. Another destroyer, that is a beam machine. It's got cannons on it, it's got some point defense, got some Sarissas for that long-range slobberknockering. And sport range with probably some S2Hs. Yep, equal. Actually, I think that was, yeah, 83%. A few have been fired. What's going on over there? Is that an explosion? No, it's just blue stuff. Memphis. Combat Voxel with a backpack with S2s. Stock S2s, not S2Hs. Interesting. Combat Reigns with some sport, more S2s. And then a scout that can fend for itself with defenders. And some guns. You know, if they're trying to do the backhacking shenanigans, they're probably going to succeed. This is not enough mines. And they're in the open. They're just in the open on the point. Now, if you would have put those, like, right here, or like right here, something comes around this corner and they get blown up. Would have been amazing. Amazing. But this, I don't know about mining out points, man. It's just not good. They're too in the open, and it's too obvious. Can also occasionally flash points with hang-ups and catch someone who's not quite ready, who's playing a little too close to the point. Mediocre getting torn apart while we're going through all these. Already went through you. Talking about mines. Memphis. Guns. Violent, we went through you. Potato Master. Guns. Stonewall. Oh my god, that's a lot of stonewalls. Defenders. This thing isn't getting hit by any missiles, especially since OSP team isn't really bringing that many missiles. Well, certainly not going to get hit by rockets either with all those stonewalls. Blank Hank of Rains. Query ASD. Bring the rail fleet with a decent volume of PD attached as well. Not amazing, but that's serviceable. That's good enough, I think, considering the rails should be at range anyways. Yeah, they're pushing in here. They're going to be able to exert an immense amount of pressure here in the middle section. X-Step 365. Bringing a missile team. H3s. Some photon torpedoes here. Some Pinards. And a lot of jammers out of both of these others. And just an Aurora for point defense. That's not enough. That's not safe. That's very unsafe. All right, let's get up here to where the action has been. In the meantime, while we've been going through all that, Captain Mediocre has been engaging... Who are you? Who's over here? MNC, Mungo Parker, as well as Hungry Hippo and Internet Explorer. And he's sort of paying for engaging 3 fleets at the same time. Pretty brutally. I'm not sure where these are going. They might be cruise guided to go swoop around here, or these might just have been track fired at the back thing here. Surely not. No. They're turning. But it looks like they're gonna get cleaned up. No, not. Flak's not quite enough. And this front ship gonna be going down. Of course, the Keystone's not really able to do much damage. One of the problems with the Keystones, doing this with the Keystones, is simply by virtue of being a Keystone and being close to the front lines, you're going to attract a lot of fire because people are terrified of beams, and so you're going to get shot at a lot. People are going to be like, oh shit, it's a beamstone, kill it. And you're giving up a lot of your survivability by sacrificing that beam because you can't actually use it. They're going to treat you like you have a weapon significantly more dangerous than you actually have. So you'll get surrounded and destroyed by a large volume of people instead of someone just being like, whoever's over there's got it. I didn't realize there were any mines on G. Oh, right. Yeah. Earlier. I don't think so. There's no way. Who's down here? There's no way this hit anything. Because it was too far out in the open. I think this just got damaged earlier by some gunfire. Definitely did not hit anyone. Because, again, mines in the open don't do anything. Because they can just be cleaned up. It's very easy to see them. They're only ever going to catch someone with their radar ARF. And actually, they won't catch that. Because visual range... mines are spottable in visual range farther than their engage range, their tracking range. Whole lot of fire coming in on the mass driver team up here. That's not the mass driver team. That's the mass driver team, I really hope. Yeah. Mass driver team engaging a battleship. While mass drivers are quite strong, they are not... 2 bulkers are not going to be able to stand up to a battleship firing 450 HE into their sides for very long, although that battleship might not be firing HE, he might be firing AP, and if he's firing AP, that's a mistake. Yeah, he's firing AP right now. Because bulkers have 20 centimeters of armor, and I think HE rounds have like 30-ish centimeters of penetration. Might have more. Might have less. But AP's got like 60. And it's just got to swoop right through the side of those things and do very little damage to the compartments. Might even be getting through pins, full through pins. The mass driver blocks, on the other hand, hitting the Solomon in the side, in the broadside, presumably on his port, and taking an immense amount of damage directly into that drive cluster. Following these missiles, not really sure what's going to be going on with them. Aha, they're going on a team that doesn't have enough point defense. No, this is a different team. This is the team back here that doesn't have enough point defense. This team has plenty of point defense. However, good angling on these missiles is going to cause that point defense to be firing pretty late. And, that's one hit. I think that might be it, though. No, quite a few hits going into that voxel. Wow. A lot of hits going into that voxel. Good missile play out of Hungry Hippo. But there's been some return fire out of the OSP team. Unfortunately, going after... Ocellos with Sarissas. These hybrids in the open versus Ocellos with Sarissas aren't going to perform very well. Well, I say that, but there's such a high volume of them that these Sarissas are not going to be able to cut it. These are getting through. Oh, but their stage is way too late. These aren't... Oh, these aren't hybrids. They're standard S2s. Clonk, clonk. Few more clonks over here. Clonk, clonk. Man, an immense volume of damage going into both of these Ocellos. They're not out of the fight. I don't even think their combat capability has been reduced at all. Their anti-missile capability has, but these turrets are in okay condition. Unfortunately, running extremely low on restores, presumably... Oh, just didn't bring hardly any DC teams. You really don't want to be doing that. You can get so much more firepower out of doing that, but it's very painful. I see the Solomon going in keel first in a brave strategy to present his most vulnerable side directly to the opposing force that is shooting at him. Let's see how it works out for him, Cotton. His beam team... This is not a beam team. This is a just a destroyer with some E-War, like the most E-War you've ever seen on a single ship in your entire life. And it's getting absolutely destroyed by those mass drivers. They're doing a good job of hopping between targets, not sticking too long in any one thing, just dunking damage after damage after damage. Although, I don't know, I'd kind of rather see him stick on the Solomon and just kill it, but... Mass drivers are weird, and their damage cones are weird, and, yeah, maybe there is something to this switching targets and just debilitating this entire fleet. Alpha belongs to the red team at present time, this USP team. We got ANS burning towards it, but these taking an absolute beating for their hubris. Goodman over here might be able to swoop around the underside and fight that, but he doesn't really want to because he's still fighting, he's still sort of fighting this other battleship up here. Oh, yeah, and by the way, there are one, two... Okay, there are only 2 battleships on the ANS team, but that's still a lot. Look at this. Jamie Dodger, bow tanking. Perfect, perfect. Excellent, that's exactly what you need to be doing. A lot of shots missing, and those that hit doing significantly less damage than it could. Also bringing a good volume of DC teams. And restores. Fantastic work here out of Mungo Parker. That's going to keep going on. We got, I went too far. We got, yeah, here we go. Missiles, aims. No, there was blue missile. There were absolutely blue missiles being fired at something earlier. I'm not high. Might have been more missiles being fired into the sides of these. The frame rate has absolutely plummeted. This is like, I don't know, what is this, like 12 frames? Thereabouts. I'm not sure. The rail team having a difficult time getting good hits on these Ocellos because of the tracks, but this one, ooh, this one not moving. That's going to mean the track is going to be much cleaner and the rail team able to get a lot of power down the field. This thing's going to be in trouble. Fire's getting started everywhere, especially with this just pathetic dearth of damage control teams. Nowhere near enough, especially to... Look at all this. Look at all this. Look at all these fires. Shit's on fire, yo. Comrade Silver up here also taking an immense volume of damage. The OSP team kind of struggling to hit at the same time. They got these nice surrounds down here, but they don't. They're not all firing at the same time. There's also been a huge commitment over to the Echo side of the map, and while they are going to be able to pretty reliably clean up this team here out of Koryu, this is a bit of an overcommitment relative to what's going on. They might be able to loop through Echo onto Alpha, but that's going to be another 15 minutes, depending on the how long the fight over there takes. Some more missiles, some AMs. God damn it! Another problem with all the mines is that it kind of clogs up the visual, clogs up the screen. Bringing sprint mines on lanes, which is fine. Ooh, he did lay some in the spot I suggested, but unfortunately nothing drove close enough. Man, maybe mines are just awful. I don't know, dude. I don't think I've seen a single game in which they were used well. I've seen games in which they kind of worked anyways, but I've never... And that's funny, because I'm usually a huge proponent of mines in strategic video games, because you can really mess with people, but these just don't have the stealth capacity to do that. They aren't stealthy at all, in fact, so they don't do that. 'Cause that's really what you're relying on mines to be, is a stealth trap. But without stealth, they're just kind of crappy. Ooh, he's gonna miss, unfortunately. It's Battleship in a good way, and with Banana Guy's voxels coming in here, gonna get a surround, and oh my god, the rails debilitating these Ocellos into near worthlessness. Rail player doing an extremely good job. Look at the power, look at the damage. I'm sure the damage is gonna be high too, and all the fire damage, of course. It's slow, but it's pretty effective. This going down. This team trying to retreat around this rock. If they can keep the OSP team following them instead of capping and rotating, they can waste a lot of time, and that looks like exactly what's going on. I sewed your boat in half. Is trying to rotate back here while Krysek is just pushing on towards Echo. Corey, you're doing a pretty good job of being a distraction, being a menace, and just generally wasting the time of the opposing forces' flank fleet, which is probably the best thing you can do with it. In the meantime, OSP team up on points, but about to be down on caps. Depending on, actually, no, I think Golf is being captured by OSP. Yeah. Yeah, it's exactly what's happening. Meanwhile, his battleship team continues to fight, losing his support reins, which might have eaten a mine or two over here. It's going to be a problem. These Ocellos in the lower part just getting absolutely wrecked-a-roonied. Continuing to, anyways. The other support reins in okay-ish condition, in this battleship starting to realize that he might be pushed up a little too far, especially if two more packs of Ocellos come over the top here and start fighting him directly into his drive section. That would be catastrophic, because if this section goes down, the Solomon dies. You can't, you'll be stuck forever constantly restoring those and not being able to do anything or go anywhere until they're restored. Then your damage teams will get killed over and over again, and you won't be able to. And even if they do get repaired, you'll still be getting shot in the ass, and it's just a whole thing, and it's bad. Speaking of getting shot in the ass, ooh, yep. That's exactly what happened here. Got shot in the port, more accurately, but those hits just happened to slam into that toasty, delicious, tasty drive section, which is currently being repaired. My little UI ticks are a little too loud for my preferences. Yeah, that's much better. Those ticks are really loud. And it's been bothering me all cast, but I've kind of been too busy doing everything else, considering there's 20 freaking people in this game. There's actually 18. It's a 9v9. And I'm a spectator. I don't know if I count. Nah, I don't count. I'm just a guy. Huge explosion up on Foxtrot out of the Captain Mediocre. His whole team has been taken down. Koryu also having some problems here on the backside. His support destroyer getting downed. This thing rotating around, but it's not having a good time. Game chugging real hard with all the mines on the field and all the missiles coming out from both teams, plus the dead ships and the oil from the dead ships, I think, reduce performance just a little bit. In a normal game, you won't notice, but in a game like this, every single little tiny byte of data matters, performance-wise. I'm sure our poor GPUs are wrecked-a-renoed into a million pieces, torn asunder. A couple missiles going into the Jammy Dodger here. Still functional, but yeah, very, very beat up. Everything damaged, nothing destroyed, nothing important destroyed. Well, except for the freaking magazine, bulk magazine. I don't know about that decision, Chief. I'm addicted to the reinforced. Still a lot of gunfire coming into the ship. It's dead, but it's not a bad idea to continue shooting at Solomons, because even after they die, they have a tendency to come back. This one, of course, has already spent all of its restores, or maybe its damage control lockers just got shot out. That seems more likely to me. Yeah, that's got one. That's already spent its... That's spent... Yeah, that got shot out before spending any events. That got shot out. You really need to restore lockers, by the way. If lockers have been taken out, restore them, and then use those restores to repair things, especially large lockers. It takes a lot longer. Well, it's not always worth. That's kind of a judgment call. It definitely takes longer to do, but if you've got the time to do it, it's very worth doing. Unfortunately, he doesn't have the time. So, yeah, he's going to get owned by those. We got some 200s coming into this battleship. If this battleship crests this corner, it's going to have a mine problem. Ooh, a little too tight on the S2s there, Chief. Gonna go out and just really show this dead Reigns what for. Let it know it's not wanted here. Slowly pushing in to Charlie. This thing doesn't... well, yeah, it probably has enough point defense. Oh, there goes one of those Ocellos, which is going to completely roast the other Ocello and actually finish it off. I've never seen that before. An exploding ship killing another ship? I mean, usually it roasts the armor and deals a good amount of damage, but this thing was already damaged enough that that was a straight-up kill. Nice. Very cool, very cool. This Foxhole team fought those Ocellos for a little bit. Just been struggling to get anything done. They're not moving around very fast. One stock drive. That is not going to cut it on Canyon. They're trying to get an awesome flank off on the OSP forces, but these things are just way out in the middle of nowhere. Can't really flank. He might also be trying to loop back on Delta and come over here and help Koryu. But if Banana Guy runs into here, he's gonna... He's might get... No, these aren't defending from this angle. So he'll be able to see these and pick them off pretty easily. I'm gonna want to see who brought the mines. I think it was Chaos. Yeah, Chaos brought the mines. So I'm gonna be looking at your damage numbers in the AAR if it actually loads up. We've had issues with 10v10s actually not being able to load the AAR when they come together. I'm not really sure what's going on there. This battleship extremely damaged, backing off. That's... I think the ANS fleet's in trouble. Because if we look over here to this side of the screen, we got a dead ship, a dead fleet, and a bunch of bruised ships, and some kind of okay ships, and then a rail team. If we look over here, we got a dead fleet, and a couple of dead shuttles, and a dead monitor. That is a significantly lighter loss on the OSP team than on the ANS team. In fact, both of these monitors, given the sheer volume of mines that are out on the field, they've probably already spent their payload. Yeah, out of those. Out of those. So, yeah. So, losing those doesn't really matter after they've spent their payload. This thing getting downed by the volume of fire coming out of the Bulker, the Revolver, and the Ocello over here. Just getting absolutely torn to shreds. Well, that's a problem, buddy. You're gonna want those. Is this thing... Did this get roasted by plasma? Oh, probably got roasted in one of the reactor explosions up here. I have no idea what they're talking about. This is definitely a 3K match. Don't pay any attention to these people. I think they're just screwing around. We have the rail team trying to kind of angle in here and get something done, but rails are phenomenal support weapons, and they can't really do anything on their own, unfortunately. I don't know. You get enough of them. With 5 of them, they were setting fires in that Ocello team. I guess you really need to have low DC counts in your opponents, and you can't count on it. It was actually a 2,000... Ooh, no, it was 2,000 points in the last match, but we got kicked out of that server. And didn't get reapplied. Having another issue here with Canyon defaulting to 1,000 points. Whoops. So OSP gonna be able to take this victory. I think it was looking to be their game anyways. But it is unfortunate we didn't get to see a full match. It would have been nice to see what happens late game when you have this many friggin' people around. M Centaur just barely eking out the escape. Unfortunately, not really able to do that is because right at the last second, this thing's gonna die to missiles. Whoops. Alright, made that bug report before I forget about it. So sorry if you've been sitting here for a second. I guess I can just cut that out. I don't even know how to make sense of an AAR with this many friggin' people in it. Not much happening with the ANS team. There's the rail team. Funnily enough, I think the rail team had the best performance out of everybody here. Oh, that's pretty good. Oh, right, these missiles that hit those Acelos. Or no, this is different missiles, because these are hybrids. Those were just standard S2s. Wow, that is painful. That is extremely painful. And presumably that's the ship that drove across the middle to Cav Alpha and just got mollywalked by mass drivers. And 450s and the revolver ship. Chaos here, doing more damage with his mines than I was expecting, actually. A lot more damage, just a few hits. But, I mean, 15k isn't bad. Could have been way more, but I have a tricky relationship with mines. Still, I really do not know how to feel about them. I haven't figured them out, and nobody else really has either. I think that's the problem, is that nobody's really figured out what to do with mines. They're pretty easy to use in theory, but in practice, on a real map, on a real battle, or a simulated battle, I guess, it's messy. Mass driver team doing phenomenal damage. It's a cool 27,000 out of those. Good man getting completely schwacked. 15 damage out of one Ocella. That's just anti-missile. By the way, he didn't use his guns at all. That hurts. I'm sorry, buddy. Hungry Hippo doing a crazy amount of damage with his S2 spam. Very cool, very cool. These scouts, however, getting nothing done. I mean, presumably their capping potential was important, but no combat seen from any of them. Soldier boat in half, got in that little scuffle underneath. Also was fighting. I think he was part of the team that flanked to Echo. Took some strong damage on those. Revolver getting work done with the Or Internet Explorer, excuse me, getting worked on with the Revolver ship. And running up. Okay. Just about out of time. On a chaos there. Uncle Parker able to get... Man, this did a way better than I was expecting. 1 assault, 13K. I guess he just kind of sat on top of the map and shot at people. He was doing a Mass Driver cosplay. Alright, that was a 10v10 on the rather too short canyon. Not sure why it's defaulting to 1,000 points. It's supposed to default to 1,500. We changed it in the last one to 2,000, but like I said earlier, we got booted out of that one, so womp womp. Yep. Rails add so much. They really do. I really hope these larger matches become a viable thing, because I think they would make support weapons like Rails and Plasma so much more useful. In fact, this would end the conversation. Well, maybe not. Some people are always going to be reminiscing about the old days. But I think Rails really have a place on these larger matchups, because unlike in 4v4s, on these big matchups, you're always going to have multiple people engaging. And so you can do something like have a... Just gonna back out to the main menu here while I give some thoughts. What was I saying? You can have a dedicated push with multiple fleets in it without rolling all your dice on it. Right? And getting the debuffs down the field is so effective. Especially if you're swapping targets at reasonable intervals to debuff the hell out of everything. And the long range is also very nice, of course. And you can provide support to all parts of the map. It really does have a place on something like Canyon, where it's not like Aorta, right, where a fight on D can help a fight on C because they're within sightline. Well, parts of both of those areas are in sightlines of each other, and they're like 9 clicks apart. And you were noticing that player also wasn't sitting on top of the map way the fuck away from everybody else, completely rolling the dice on just no one seeing him. He's forward with the team. Off-angled and in a weird spot at the back, but with the team at the end of the day. Supporting things. I'd like to see more big maps. Floating islands might be, might actually be viable now with these big 10v10s. Although obviously it's absolute hell on hardware. I don't know if it's practical to get that to be in a reliable state. Well, it is reliable, but a high performance state. There we go. I haven't had a crash on any of these big matches yet, and we've had a few 10v10s at this point. Most of whom I've recorded. It's pretty cool. Huge shout out to some username for making the mod that makes this possible. To Mazzer for designing the software framework. I don't know what the correct terms is, but for putting everything together that players can use to make dedicated servers for. All the netcoding, all the stuff for that, because there's no way you could run this hot on just peer-to-peer. No way. You need a dedicated server for something like that. And whoever the hell owns the 50v50 test server, I don't actually know who that is. It might be Tempest? No, Tempest owns the UK lawn. And Switchback's got the other 10v10 server. I don't know. But thank you, dear hoster, wherever you are and whoever you are. If you enjoyed that, dear viewer, good. Good. You better have enjoyed it. Or else they will come for you. And, that's it. That's all. See you in the battle space. Oh, if you, want to get in on things like this in the future, get in the dev Discord, obviously. Sometimes people post in LFG. But I've also got a Discord link down on the bottom, and I ping people. I'm a little more liberal with my ping usage, so if you want alerts, notifications when this sort of madness is going on, hop into that, and I'll do that. I also host just normal games through there. I'll see you in the battle space. Good night.